Welcome back to the Todd Durkin Impact Show, and this is the first episode of 2022. Can I get an amen and hallelujah for a new year? Anybody? Shout it out as you're walking, running around the neighborhood, you're walking the dog. Give me a big old shout out and let me know that you're fired up for a brand new year. Thank God. Thank God we got 2022 here. 2021 is in the rearview mirror. There's no looking back. I only want you staring in the front windshield today. No more looking back. Thank you for, hey, let's just say it. Goodbye, dear. 2022 is here. Can I get a little bit of a shout, please, today? Hey, I'm keeping today's message short and sweet as I want to help you go into 2022 taking significant action for your big dreams, your big goals, what you want to achieve in 2022. I want you getting after it. I don't want to waste any time. And I want you to put the foot on the accelerator. We're going to put our foot down and we're going to rock and roll and create what will be an iconic year, an epic year, a historic year. Because if the last 2 years are indicative, it's time to flip the page to a new year. Is anyone else excited as I am? Can you tell I've been in the mountains for a little while? I'm a little fired up for a new year. Man, oh man. I got a couple questions for you. I want to ask you a couple questions. Now, I want you to think about this. 2022, where are you going this year? What are you going to do that's special in 2022? When we look back in a year from now, and I want to create some epic, iconic episodes here on the Impact Show, but when we look back on a year from now, what is it that you're going to create, you're going to manifest, that you're going to do this year in 2022 that is special? You know, when I asked you earlier on the last couple episodes about even in your God-sized dreams planner, what are your big 5 for 2022? What are the big 5 things that you want to do this new year to make it a special one, an iconic one that's going to change the trajectory of your life? What are those 5 things? What do you need to do to create an iconic year? I'm not just talking being in reactive mode or response mode. I'm literally talking about this year and taking the energy, the fuel that we all feel right now because it's new and we all love that. And I want to be strategic about it. So today, I have 5 things, 5 short things I want to get through today to get in your mind, your heart, and your soul. Your mind, your heart, and your soul. So as you're out pumping the blood, the heart rate is up, and you're like, "Hoo-hoo, let's rock and roll, TD. We got this bad boy." Yup, we do. But it's going to be an everyday thing. 363 days left. Yep, 363 days left here in 2022, and we're starting off strong. So number 1 of my 5 points, I've got 5 points today to help you make this an iconic year for you. Number 1, write it down or etch it in the old mind as you huff and puff and get your workout in. Number 1, I want you to discover your passion, purpose, vision, and mission. Discover your passion, purpose, vision, and mission. Now, hang with me here because we've talked about this before. You don't find it. You don't go out and find your purpose. You don't find your passion. You got to discover it by doing it. You got to go out there and make things happen. That's the only way to make it happen. So I'm going to ask you this. What is your deep-seated passion? What's firing you up these days? What's giving you the juice? The juice that's saying, man, this gets my soul on fire. This is making my spirit sing. Now, I know the last year, 2021, there's been some brokenness. There's been some emptiness. I mean, the amount of questions and comments I'm getting like, TD, you have no idea, man. I'm down. I got to get up, but I'm empty. I'm broken. I'm feeling more anxiety than ever. And I work my tail off and things are pretty good at the job, but man, there's got to be more. So let me ask you this, your purpose, your divine purpose. What are you supposed to be doing with your life? Is your work and your purpose congruent right now with your core values? When you think about what you do for work, whatever you're doing for work, whatever you're doing outside of work, is it congruent with your core values? So when you think about your core values right now, and your core values are non-negotiables, these are things that when the chips are down, when the times are low, you do not negotiate your core values. So what's your purpose? Your purpose will evolve. Your purpose gets deeper and deeper, hopefully each and every year. But I want you to really think about, when you think about your deep-seated passion and your divine purpose, what's it going to take in 2022 to live with the utmost passion, where you're playful and you're like, man, this is awesome. And your soul's singing. People are like, man, what's got into her? What's got into him? You're like, oh, I've been listening to that Impact Show. I'm fired up. Yes, sirree, Bob. That's what I'm talking about. What about your vision? Where do you see yourself at the end of this year? And your vision is where you're going, right? Where you're going. What about in the next 3 years, 5 years, 10 years? Just in the next year, your vision. What do you want to create in your life? Now, many of you who are listening to the show today, you've probably spent some time answering the questions I had on the previous episode here of the Impact Show, or perhaps maybe you even invested in the God-Sized Dreams Planner sometime in December or even early January here, and you worked on some of the questions that I posed for you to help you with your passion, your purpose, and your vision, because part of the planner was to look back. But the more important part was to really look for 2022 and beyond your life. What do you stand for? What is it you stand for? Because my last part of number 1, discover your passion, purpose, vision, and mission. I want to talk about your mission. I want to talk about the mission you're on right now. What's the crusade you're going on in 2022? I'm talking about a crusade. I'm not talking about showing up at work. I'm not just talking about showing up as a mom or a dad and doing what you do because you make your kids breakfast or lunch or dinner. I'm talking about a crusade to be a better mom and dad, and how you're going to serve your family or your job or your leadership or this world or whatever your purpose about. You're going on a crusade, a mission to live your life's purpose and passion. Because when you're living with passion and purpose and you want a crusade to change the world, I don't care if it's 100 people, 1,000 people, 1,000,000 people, or 10 million people, because in my planner, it's all about this year, it's 10 million people. It used to be 10 million people in my lifetime. No. Forget that. What if this was the last year that you're going to live? That's how I'm living this year. What if this year, 2022, is the last year of your life? How about y'all stand up with me? We're going on a crusade to change lives now. I'm spitting all over my desk and I'm on this microphone. My team's probably laughing at me right now. It's a mission. I'm going on a crusade to help people live their God-sized dreams. So what's your God-sized dream? What do you stand for? A crusade is designed to help people think big, align their dreams and their vision and their goals with the work that they do every single day. A crusade. My crusade this year in 2022 is going to be to help improve people's health. Because without that, you know this, he or she who has her health has 1,000 dreams. He or she who does not has one. Do you have your health? Is your health as vibrant as you want? I know I shared in 2021 about my own physical health challenges. But guess what? That's not going to be a deterrent to live my best life. And just like you probably got some owies, some injuries, some chronic pain going on too. It is not going to stop us from going on a crusade to live a life worth telling a story about, to live your best life this year. Now, that's the time. I'm going on a crusade to change people's mindsets. That started in June 2020. Well, actually, it started way before that, before my book came out. But you talk about changing mindsets. This year is about, what are we going to do? What are you going to do to change your mindset every single day? And my crusade is to change the energy of this world. To change the energy of this world. Because last I checked, there's a lot of not a lot. There is an abundance of negativity, of pessimism, of darkness, and I can't stand it anymore. The crusade is to go on a crusade to change the world, the body, the mind, and the souls, and the energy. So people like you listening right now can operate in a space where you feel like you can live the life that you're designed to live. You feel like you can live that life to maximize your full potential. So what's your full potential? That's why I'm fired up today. It's the beginning of 2022. And if you haven't Hey, if you can't tell, I'm a little fired up right now. You're like, oh, TD, he's coming in hot. Yes, I am, boys and girls. I'm coming in hot. Because guess what? That's what I'm designed to do. So what are you designed to do? You want to get on the crusade with me? Let's go. We got a world to change. I'm sick and tired of the pessimism, and we're not going to stand for it. We are going to light the world on fire with optimism, with light, with hope. And it's going to require you to be your absolute best self. So are you on board? Are you on board? Are you willing and ready to commit to make this year the most iconic one yet now? It's going to require you to do things that you've never done before. Don't worry, I'm going to hold your hand through the entire process. I'm not going to let you fail unless you allow yourself to fail. Got me? Start where you're at today and assess yourself. Be real with yourself. Be real. If you got my God-sized dreams planner, congratulations. I've got an assessment in there that you can take every darn month called the 10 Forms of Wealth. Take it. Do the work. We've got our 10 Forms of Wealth. We've got our 90-Day Wonder. We've got all of these things in there. Right now, today, as you listen to today's episode, Spittin' Fire, what are you going to do to improve one area of your life? And if you're like, Todd, my marriage is failing, then change your marriage by changing yourself. Not changing your spouse. You change, and you be real with yourself. What changes do you need to make? Do you need to be a better listener? Do you have to have more empathy? Do you have to have more intimacy? How are you going to change you? What about your finances? Oh, Todd, I want to make more money. Then guess what? Let's devise a strategy on what you can do through your work by really looking at your passions and your purpose for life and making sure they align with how you can scale that. It's going to require you to assess yourself first and then strategize about what you can do with that. Maybe it's your health. You assess your health in my 10 Forms of Wealth, and you're like, man, Todd, you have no idea. My health is not where I want it to be. Guess what? Then we're going to need to make some commitments and do some things outside your comfort zone, not only this year, not only this quarter, not only this month, this week right now. Let's come out of the gate hot. Let's come out of the gate where we are swinging with, I don't know, is it your faith walk? Maybe you need to go deeper on your own faith, your own beliefs. Then let's go a little deeper. Your fitness, your career. What do you want to do? That's what I'm enamored with. How can I help you help yourself really optimize your potential? That's what makes me tick. And that's why you're listening to today's show. All right, number 2, I got 5. I said it was going to be short and quick. So number 2, it goes hand in hand with making sure you live your passion, your purpose, your vision, and your mission. Number 2 is, listen, if we're going to live our most iconic year, it's going to come down to your habits. If you dominate the day, you dominate the week. And if you dominate the week, you dominate the month, you dominate the quarter, you dominate the year, you dominate your life. Habits. Habits, habits, habits. I mentioned earlier on, thank God 2021 is gone, because I know the last 2 weeks beat you up. You were eating and drinking things you probably should have been eating or drinking. Can I get an amen to that one? Yeah, y'all are laughing. Yes, Todd. Yes. Okay. You feel like you're at confession. What do you need to eliminate in your life? What do you need to eliminate? What do you need to get rid of? See, a lot of times people think, I got to clean this up. What do you need to get rid of? I don't know. Is it sugar, excessive sugar? Is it alcohol? If you're going to live an iconic life, when they're going to build a statue after you someday this year, what do you need to do to dial in? I'm talking about world-class performance. I'm talking about you operating as your best self, your W.L.W.B. When life works best, what the heck are you doing? Do it. Where do you need to double down in your life? Maybe it's in your faith walk again. I keep coming back to faith walk, but all these things, an iconic year, you will have to go deeper on your faith. Yeah, I shared in 2021, which may have been the toughest year of my life for many reasons, which I shared at the end of this year. Man, without God in my life, I don't know. I honestly don't know if I could be on this episode right now doing what I'm doing, firing you up, because I know that God's plan is way bigger than my plan. And when we lean into that, man, good things happen for you. Is it your faith? Is it your exercise? Is it you eating healthy? Is it mindset hacks? Is it recovery hacks? Is it committing to more date nights because you need more date nights with your spouse and significant other? Like, what is it? Do you need to commit with your habits to take more time off? As you know, as you get more and more successful in your own walk of life, you have to get your time away to really strategize. I call that your mellow yellow and blue sky time. Thank you, Wayne Cotton. The quality of your relationships determines the quality of your life. Think about that. The quality of your relationships determines the quality of your life. So when you think about habits, how does that great quote relate to it? Let me ask you, how are the relationships in your life, and what habits can you create in your life to make sure that your relationships go even deeper? Because it's about love. It's about the harmony of your relationships. The quality of your relationships determine the quality of your life. So how is the relationship with your family, your spouse and your kids? How is the relationship with your coworkers at work? And hopefully you're getting back to work live and in person. I don't know about you. I've had enough Zoom. This is my own personal thing. I'm not going to go off on a tangent. Maybe you want me to. Can we all get back to work a little bit more live? Man, it's tangible. It's good. Let's not hide behind the Zoom screens any longer than we need to. Okay, that's your PSA announcement. How about your relationships with God? How's your relationship with God? I mean, it's requiring you to spend 3 to 5 minutes in the morning, turning off the radio every now and then and just talking to God. What can you do as a habit here in 2022 to strengthen the relationship? It ain't about religion, my friends. We all know that. I'm preaching here. It's about the relationship that you have with God. And like any relationship, it takes time. So is it time when you're driving? Is it time when you're flying? When you're walking after you listen to the podcast? Is it right now as you're listening to this, you're saying your prayers to God that you can have some vibration come into your brain that's elevating and allowing you to reflect upon your own relationship with God? And lastly, the fourth one of relationships, your family, your coworkers, your faith, is you. How's the relationship with yourself? You. Because why is it sometimes your relationship with yourself is you think of everyone else first and you come last and your health is suffering, your mindset is suffering, and you're not getting to where you want to go because you ain't treating yourself the way you need to. Heck, most of us treat our four-legged furry friends better than we treat ourselves. Our dogs and our cats, they get treated better than ourselves. So how about you just upping and amping up your own personal care here this year so you can live that iconic life? And lastly, when it comes to habits, write down 3 to 5 rules of your life. 3 to 5 rules. If you're going to live by a few rules for yourself to live an iconic year, what are your rules? I mean, if you read my book in the last year and a half, I've got 13 rules of living. I'm not going to go through them now, but if you want, just go back and get your mind right and look at my 13 rules. It's not important what my rules are, but what's important is you create your rules that you live by to live your W.L.W.B. Habits. You are as good as your habits. Number 3 of 5, keep your soul singing throughout this entire year. Yup. Keep your soul singing. Because the question I always get is, man, Todd, how do you keep the energy going? How do you keep the soul singing? Well, how you do that is, let me ask you this question. Dial in. What are the 5 things that you love to do in life? Write them down. Why? Yeah, you may have written them down 2 years ago, but guess what? Maybe the 5 things that you're loving to do these days is different than the ones that you used to love 5 years ago. Write them down and do more of the things that make your soul sing, that make you happy, that bring you joy, that you find contentment in, that you find just peace in. And guess what happens? If you're spending 80+% of your time doing the things that move your soul, all of a sudden your energia shifts. So for me, I love to write. Most days of the week, I'm writing either an email, I'm writing in my journal, I'm writing the show notes to this podcast episode, I'm working on a book project. But I love to do that. I love speaking, and speaking, like keynote speaking. I love keynote speaking. Matter of fact, I cannot wait for this year coming up. I want to get up on stage again. I've already started here late 21, but I love when I have the opportunity to connect with people live and in person. Again, I've done a lot of Zoom keynotes. There's nothing like live. So I love to do that. I think that's one of the gifts that God gave me, is the ability to connect with people. So that's an intention that I love to do based on what makes my soul sing. I love coaching. I've been coaching in the mastermind. Guys, this is a huge year coming up. What is this? Is this our 15th year coming up in the mastermind in October? That's crazy. 15 years of coaching fitness pros and coaches to be the best they can be in business and leadership and in training and in personal growth. Matter of fact, I'm really fired up. Matter of fact, I'm going to share it more next week. Some of the things I've got coming up coaching-wise. I'm working right now, as you listen to this, I'm working on a coaching program that'll change the world. I truly believe it's going to change the body, the mind, the hearts, and the souls of people worldwide. And I'm working on it as we speak. It's going to be coming out here soon. I'll start to talk about it a little bit more next week, but I've been working my tail off for months on how can I change the world in 2022? If this was the last year, I only had one coaching program. What can I pour into it? It's coming up, boys and girls. It's coming up. But I love to do that. I love to coach. What do you love to do? And create projects, initiatives that align with your soul. I love health-related activities. Whether it's working out, whether it's going to the spa, whether it's getting a massage. Yes, massage, touch. It's very important these days. If it's recovery. Why? Because when you feel good physically, then mentally they go hand in hand, right? All the way back to the Socrates days, and all the body and the mind go hand in hand, right? And the last thing for me, the fifth one, is just family time. So this year in 2022, how can you create iconic, epic, historic moments and experiences with your family? The loved ones in your life that you say, wow, we did this together. And it doesn't have to be expensive. It's about time and creating those experiences. You ask yourself, what are the 5 things that you love to do, and do those things? And lastly, when it comes to keeping your soul singing throughout the year, I ask you this. And it goes back to my GSD planner again. Many of you have done it, but if you have not, I'm going to share some of the questions again because I want you to do them. It is not too late to work on 2022 here in the first couple weeks of the year. What 5 things are you going to accomplish this year? What do you need to create this year and in your life that they'll be talking about for future generations? Heck, what are your big 5 for life? For your life. What do you want to create? Dream big. When I talk about God-sized dreams, these are things that you have no idea how you're going to do by yourself. As a matter of fact, it's bigger than you. It's way bigger than you. You're going to need a team of people to help you out. You're going to need some divine intervention that is saying, you know what, if I'm going to give back $10 million or $100 million through the Impact Foundation in my lifetime, I don't know how it's going to happen other than that strong intention and getting a lot of hard work with the right people all around me. When I set that intention, it's going to happen. Then all of a sudden, we give back $100 million to the Impact Foundation, and all of a sudden, there's some things happening in 2022. Like, man, TD, how you doing that? I don't know. I'm sharing it with you here because there's people who are listening to this right now in the U.S. and in Canada and around the world. You're like, TD, that aligns with me. And guess what? Now all of a sudden, we're collaborating because in 2022, this world will be collaborating more. So I look forward to collaborating with you more on this podcast, in your business initiatives, in your faith initiatives, in your health initiatives. If I can help you, I will do that. And guess what? Each and every one of you have gifts, unique gifts that have been ordained into you that I look forward to learning more about too in 2022. That's what it's all about. In 2022, you got to ask yourself the question when it comes to strategizing your life. How much money do you want to make? Don't forget, money is energy. So where's your energy at? If you want to attract more money, we're going to need to work on making sure that you're in a state of mind, a state of energy, that you're going to allow yourself to attract more money so you can give more money back and do more great things within your life. Can I get an amen on that? I had to change my relationship with money, going back to when I was a young kid and growing up as the youngest of 8 kids with not a lot of money, to use mantras that I am deserving of money so that I can attract money and do great things with money and not only take care of my team and my community, but to give back through our foundation, to give back to people in need. And as you all know, giving is much more fulfilling than receiving. Let me ask you this, your health, your faith, all of these things, strategize it, and watch what happens. All of a sudden, big things start happening, and you're like, man, oh man, oh man, and good things are happening. I'm going to end point number 3, keep your soul singing throughout the year with this. Make sure the projects and initiatives that you're working on are moving your soul. What's giving you that juice again? What's that new program you're sinking your teeth in? Like I've been sinking my teeth into a new program. Don't worry, it's coming out. I'm still putting the final touches and dotting the I's and crossing the T's. That's firing me up a little bit. Maybe you're outlining a new book. Maybe you're creating a new coaching program for yourself. You're going to impact your community, or you're signing up for a coaching program that you know can take you to a new transformative state of your body, mind, and soul. Maybe it's a new hobby or a new side hustle that's giving you the juice. Find the juice and get your soul singing. Boom. Point number 4, to make this the most iconic year of your life, commit to being the most positive person you know. Woo-hoo! Yeah, this is going to be short and sweet. Just commit right now. Just commit to being the most positive person you know. Because if you're the most positive person you know, and I'm the most positive person I know, this world is going to be a better place. You know it. There's way too much negative energy out there. That's not you. That's not me. We all need energia. And we're going to have to fight like hell to protect the mind, the body, and the soul. Your mindset, your soul set, your heart set, and everything that makes up you. Say no to energy vampires. Say no to toxic relationships. Resolve situations at work or home that drain you. Let me repeat that. Resolve situations at work or at home that drain you. Have the tough conversations that you've been meaning to have but haven't because you're scared. I said because you're scared and don't want to do, you want to avoid that. No, have the tough conversations at work or at home and rectify soured relationships and make them whole again. It's going to require you to have the mindset and the initiative to do that. And point number 5, my 5th and final point to make this an iconic year is I want you to attack fear. And I want you to smack it in the face and don't accept fear as normal. It's not normal. Attack fear. It's engulfing our society, and I hate it. I despise it. I don't like fear is literally encapsulating the soul and the spirit of way too many people. I know it's not you, but you're like, I know, Todd, can I forward this onto someone I know? Yes, you can. Please do. Someone that might be right now living in fear. And if that's you, it's time literally. Oh, I just snapped my band. I broke both my bands. Folks, I literally broke my band. Yes, I'm laughing because I literally just snapped my band. I'm that fired up. Mark that tape right there because I'm that fired up that fear is killing us. It's killing us. So let me ask you this. If you got a little fear in you, because we all do, is it paralyzing you? Or is it propelling you? Is it paralyzing you and breaking you, or is it propelling you? Will you face it? Will you face the fear, the anxiety, the stress? Yeah, face it. Face it. Don't accept it, but I want you to use fear as fuel, and I want you to turn it into energy that's going to allow you to do the things that you need to do. I don't want fear squashing your dreams, because right now, as you commit with your mantra that 2022 will be an iconic year, Fear is crushing spirits all over the place. It's preventing people from living, and it's got to stop. Fear of losing, fear of failing. Work out more. Strive to win. Fear of disease, fear of COVID. Listen, stop the fear. Relentless focus on health, on fitness, on nutrition. Fear of COVID, I said? Yup. Stop watching the news 3 times a day. It ain't changing. Stop being a victim of the news. Stop being engaging in conversation about all of the what ifs, all of the different variants. Stop. Don't be a victim of that. Don't be paralyzed in life because the news is scaring the heck out of you. Let me remind you of this. Show up to work live. Show up to functions live. Show up in life and live life to the fullest right now. It's the only way to get back to thriving in life. Fear, false expectations appearing real, facing everything and running. No. Facing everything and rising up. Faith over fear. Use fear as fuel to drive your faith to make sure that you live life on your terms. Refuse in 2022 to be guided by fear. Be guided by faith in 2022. Faith in God, faith in your dreams, in your goals, in your vision, in your mission, in your crusade, faith in what you want to believe in and what you want to create in your life for your family, for yourself. Fortitude, attitude, integrity, trust, and humility. Thank you, DB, for that. So my friends, today, on this first episode of 2022, when it comes to business, here's what I want you to think about. 2 things, business and you. In your business, as we wrap today up, what are you going to do with your career, your business, your profession this year to derive more happiness, more fulfillment with your work? Not less fulfillment, more. Remember this, the circle of life is bigger than the circle of work. Thank you, Wayne Cotton. The circle of life is bigger than the circle of work. What changes do you need to make to your schedule right now? Right now, as we kick off 22, make them. Don't start going back to the office again and doing the same old thing. Maybe you go back to the office and you start connecting more, leading more, having more empathy. Do you need to start having more live in-person meetings again to create the connection that's missing? Do you need to step up your leadership? Do it in your business. Only you right now could say, hey, based on where I'm going, this is what it's all about. And lastly, number 2 is you. Taking those 5 points I just shared, let's talk about you, because your business can't thrive if you don't thrive. Some real talk here. What needs to change with you? What needs to change? I talked about your habits. I talked about your passion, your purpose, your goals, your crusade. I talked about your energy. What is it? Let me go to a little deeper level here. Where right now do you feel empty? Where do you feel most broken? Where do you feel most lost right now? And I'm being real here. Where is it? Because as we go into 2022, if you've got these feelings, I want you to take it and know that it's real, but we're going to do something about it right now. Maybe your confidence is shaken and you don't have that same swag you used to, but you're working your tail off. Things are going pretty good. Where are you putting your identity? Where are you putting that identity? And do you sometimes wonder who the heck you are? Maybe you're 35 years old, maybe you're 42, maybe you're 55 or you're 60 years old. It doesn't matter your age. It doesn't matter your gender. But there's an energy shift going on in this world right now for everybody. Every continent, there's an energy shift going on right now. Can you feel me on that? The energy shift going on? But guess what? Here's the good news. Ask yourself this. Why do I exist? What's God's purpose for me? There must be a deeper reason why I'm here, and this is what I'm soul searching for today, of this deep-seated reason of why I show up at work, why I show up for my family, why I show up when I'm tired or when I'm hurt or when I'm in pain. These are the things right now in 2022 as we kick off. This is the crusade we're going on, because maybe you've been working your butt off for 5 years or 10 years or 25 years or 40 years, and guess what? Where's your energy going? After all, where your attention goes, your energy flows. My friends, my fire-breathing dragon friends, my mind-right maniacs, I am so fired up for 2022. If you can't tell in this entire episode, there's fire coming out, there's spit coming out. I broke 2 bands on my wrist. Oh, that's a first. Why? Because there's tremendous opportunity right now. I mentioned it last week in last week's episode, is you got to do the work. But you got to have patience in the gap. You got to have patience in the gap. But let's commit right now to doing the deepest work on ourselves in 2022 right now. And it's going to allow us to discover our ultimate potential. And isn't that what life's all about? When I talk about potential, I'm talking about you maximizing the gifts today in every conversation that you have. It's having the courage to use your gifts and share them unequivocally, and to ultimately find the inner peace, the harmony, the joy, and love that each and every one of us seek right now as we listen to the Impact Show. I'm going to end with this. I promise this is it. I could go on and on. I can make this a 4-hour show, but I'm not going to, is I want to know your theme for 2022. I want to know it. I want you to share with me. As a matter of fact, I just posted over on my Instagram here early January 2022. I want to know your theme. For me, 2022 is the year of energy. That's my theme. My theme for 2022 is energy. And I promise you, I give you my word right now on today's episode, you will get nothing but my best in 2022. I will show up through the best of times to the worst of times. I'll show up with the best energy that I can possibly give, so that you can show up with the energy that this world so desperately needs right now. So for you, what's your theme? I don't know. Is it a year of action? A year of transformation? A year of impact? Is it your year of soul? Your year of love, faith? You put the word in for you, that word that resonates with you. And it might change. Don't worry, it can change. But I want to know your theme. Share it with me, please. Please share it with me. My friends, thank you. From the bottom of my heart, I am so fired up for 2022. I honestly don't know, in 50 years of New Year's, man, oh man, have I ever been more fired up for a new year. Thank you. Happy New Year. Happy 22. I'm so pumped up this year for you, to coach you, to help you, to motivate you, inspire you, to create more impact for you. But it starts right now today. Let's create a great day. Let's get after it this week. And let's start this year off strong. Because after all, you will never, ever regret a strong start to anything in life, including this new year. Until next time, remember, train hard, eat right, and live inspired. Happy New Year, and God bless you all. Here's to an iconic 2022. Peace. I'm out.